Swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Swept Under the Rug. We've got Rohan.
Hello.
And making his podcast debut, it's the man that is, the man, the myth, the legend, Elliot Pammenter,
You're right.
also known as Pammo.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
I'm alright, mate. It's been good. It's been good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed your experience so far?
Oh yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been real good stuff.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I've heard you got a new fridge.
I do have a new fridge.
Can you tell us about the fridge?
Oh mate, had a hole in the wall for ages because our previous fridge nearly exploded.
Right.
Which is pretty interesting.
Okay.
And then we got this new fridge. Me uncle,
Yeah.
my dad and me installed the fridge. It's got a water purifier in it.
Okay.
It's pretty dope.
Can you explain to those that don't know what a water purifier is?
Basically, you plug it into your mains,
Right.
and then it basically cleans water as it goes through. It's got charcoal in it, which basically means the first couple times you whack some water in there, it comes out black. You shouldn't drink it because it's charcoal.
That's fantastic. Is it a fridge freezer or just
it is a fridge freezer. There's two halves to it. It's pretty mental.
Okay.
It's
very
exciting. It's very exciting.
What a start to today's show, eh?
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to 4 Talent and Channel 4. I was on work experience there a few weeks back. And for anyone who is interested in that kind of world, I would check out the 4 Talent website because they do some awesome stuff and are kind of really keen to get young people involved. So do check them out and big ups to everyone at Channel 4. Pammo, also, going back to you, we did a podcast once, didn't we?
We did in year 12, yeah.
Yeah. How would you describe?
Amateurish.
Yeah.
I'd say. We also had 4 other people in the room at the time who were
we did.
kind of contributing, but not really. It was it was all a good road. It was all a good journey to lead up to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Henny Lenry, wasn't it?
It was called Henny Lenry.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Do you remember where that name came from?
Well, I mean, I can assume where the name came from.
Yeah.
But no, please explain.
No, I can't remember. That's what I was asking you.
It's Lenny Henry.
Well, yeah, obviously, but why?
I don't know. I think at the time we just sort of thought it was just a very kooky, quirky thing to call a podcast.
Yeah.
I think weren't we going to do a thing about premiering or something? Wasn't that the point?
Maybe.
I think that might have been the point.
Could have been. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you want us to change our name, listeners, to Henny Lenry, then email Henny Lenry to mumjingles@gmail.com. I was going to talk about the Peshwari Naan thing. Yeah. I feel like we've been rambling for quite a long time anyway. Anyway, quickly, right. So I was on the train the other day and there were these people ordering a curry on the train and he ordered, instead of a Peshwari Naan, I think he was trying too hard not to say bath and grass and all that. Went for a Peshwari Naan instead. So hoping the delivery guy turned up with a sort of slightly aged Asian lady with a strong accent. But anyway.
And then coconut in her hand.
Yeah, coconut drizzled in raisins. So yeah, that was that. Probably kind of wasn't worth extending the podcast by 30 seconds for, but you can make up your own mind about that, listeners.
Email in if you think it was worth it.
Email worth it at gmail.com. We've got quite an exciting show for you coming up, believe it or not. We've got Ed Vickers, who is the founder and director of Jollies, which is a really exciting sock company, if there is such a thing. And we'll hear more about that later on, but please do stick around for that. They do some amazing stuff with helping the homeless, as well as creating some pretty banging socks. And we got news and some weird food coming later, but we'll hold fire on that. I think.
I'm
not looking forward to it.
No.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course you are, Pammo.
Yeah.
We've got tomato juice with mustard in it.
Big Tom's tomato juice.
Big Tom's tomato juice. And much, much more.
Yeah.
So stick around, listeners. We'll see you in a bit for some news stories after this mum jingle.
I'm Rohan's mum and you're listening to Swept Under the Rug.
Okay, listeners, so let's get going with the news section of the podcast. I encourage you to be your own journalist. Let's start with Rohan's quickfire news story. Okay. What you got for us?
So this is the Marmite and amnesty underway at London City Airport.
Okay.
So this was a fair while ago. It was back in July. So
Whoa.
Yeah, last
Oh,
month.
month ago.
And they declared a marmite amnesty because apparently Marmite is the most regularly seized branded food product at its security gates, and in the top 10 overall for confiscated items.
Right.
That one. And
I did actually get some Vegemite taken off me in Australia once.
Did you?
At an airport, yeah. But that's a whole other story that is not quickfire enough for this section.
So, yeah, what they're doing until the 31st of July, so obviously they've stopped now, is they're swapping their people's Marmite jars for a travel-friendly 70-gram miniature jar, so that they can still take some Marmite with them at least.
What kind of destination do you think you'd be going to that you'd have to take some Marmite?
I don't know, anywhere, any barren wastelands that might be bare of Marmite.
I like the idea that people are taking along, instead of like travelling tubes of toothpaste, travelling tubes of Marmite.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and they said the move could be repeated if it's deemed successful, so we'll see in the future.
Exciting times.
That's pretty mental.
Marmite, love it or hate it, Pam?
Hate it. I say that, I never had it. So I assume hate it, but I never had it.
Fair enough.
I hate it, but it's like, I think I had it once about 8 years ago, and I can't really remember.
Okay.
But I think I vaguely disliked it.
Right. Yeah.
What about you?
I kind of sit on the fence with it, which is like.
Ooh, that's a controversial opinion.
Edgy side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll have it, but I don't hate it. I don't really love it.
Bloody hell. I think you're first in England, mate.
I know.
How does it feel?
Tell me about it. Anyway, my quickfire story is a 5-year-old girl who was fined £150 by the local council, the Tower Hamlets Council in London, for setting up her own lemonade stand outside Love Box Festival in Victoria Park. She was selling 50p cups of lemonade outside this festival.
Honest business.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Doing quite well. But yeah, she was copped for it, and her dad, Andre, which is
that's pretty interesting.
If your dad was called Andre, you're kind of winning already.
That's true.
Said that his daughter burst into tears, saying, "I've done a bad thing. I've done a bad thing." The council has later cancelled the fine and apologised.
Right. Does it say why she got fined?
Just for like illegal trading. She didn't have a license.
They asked her to like show them her license or something.
Oh, not in this story, I don't think, but
if they asked,
probably.
if people legitimately asked a small child for a license to sell lemonade, that's pretty great.
A bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of mental. Yeah, hang on.
There was. I saw like a follow-up story to it.
What
It was like she's been inundated with job offers now. So like, loads of businesses and stuff have praised her entrepreneurial spirit.
Exactly. I think her dad was saying that we should be encouraging children to do this kind of thing rather than discouraging them, which is probably a fair.
Maybe all the drink stands in the actual festival paid off all the council people to eliminate competition.
So we're probably charging about £3.50 for lemonade.
Probably more than that. Probably like £5.
You reckon?
I reckon.
For some Sprite.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
Okay.
The Illuminati's in on it.
Right. Big revelations here on Swept Under the Rug. Pammo, what's your quickfire?
Right.
story?
So, famous painter Salvador Dali's been dead for a long time. So apparently TV I can't remember what the word is. It's like palm reading and stuff. TV fortune teller,
right,
has come out and said that she's the daughter of Salvador Dali,
right,
from an affair or something like that,
right.
And because he apparently never had kids, all his stuff, all his money and wealth went to Spain, like the government. So she's trying to get a percent of it back. So they dug him up, and apparently his mustache is in perfect condition. It's perfectly preserved as it was when he got put in the ground in the first place.
That's quite exciting.
And the person who actually, something called exhuming for dead bodies. Apparently, the person said that his mustache is still in the same 10 past 10 position as it was when he died, as he asked for it. Which is pretty mental.
That's really exciting. What do you think he used on it?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't think there's any like VO5 gel though. I think it's some real special stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe beeswax. Who knows?
Beeswax.
Maybe beeswax.
Is that a thing, or have you just plucked that out?
I sort of plucked out the thin air, to be honest. It could be a thing though.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll be the next new like avocado trend.
Yeah.
Beeswax.
Beeswax. He's like 10 past 10 moustache.
Yeah. That could be the next hipster trend.
Yeah. Be seeing them around Shoreditch very soon.
See you out in Pigeon Park.
Shouts to the Brummie listeners out there.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's our quickfire news round for the first half of this podcast. We're going to carry on with some more newsy stuff because we're going to do a headline freestyle after the roaring success that it was a couple of weeks ago whenever we did it, Rohan. And our 3 stories for this week, it must be a really slow news day, listeners, because the second most read story on the BBC News website is that actress Helen Mirren, is she right about useless moisturisers? So that's one of the stories that we're gonna, one of the headlines that we're gonna freestyle about, as well as Neymar Jr.'s £198 million transfer to Paris Saint-Germain. And the final story is one I hadn't heard of, about Justin Bieber in China.
Yeah. Justin Bieber getting banned from China for bad behaviour, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Do we know
don't
what?
think they've come out about what it actually is yet.
No.
I think it's just been sort of veiled in mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
So, do we all want to do a three-way freestyle, or are we?
I mean, it's up to you, mate.
Let's do it.
Alright.
So, can someone set a timer for 1 minute,
Okay.
and we'll get going with Neymar, Helen Mirren and moisturiser, and Justin Bieber in China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
What a time to be alive.
What a time to
I
be
guess
alive.
so.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right. So, Neymar, right,
Yeah.
goes to China
Okay.
with some moisturiser,
Okay.
which he bought
Did he
for
exchange the moisturiser for travel-friendly 70 ml, like little bottle of moisturiser?
Yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
airport?
Did he
for
exchange?
£198 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Then Helen Mirren's at the check-in desk. No, the bit where you go through
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not in the she's not in the what's it called, the duty free.
Maybe she's in duty free.
I mean that's where you probably get the moisturiser from rather than security check-in.
Yeah. Okay. So and then she's like, actually, this is kind of useless. You don't want to spend £198 million on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Where does Bieber come into this?
Yeah.
So then.
Is he illicitly selling some moisturiser to Neymar?
Is he also recommending Neymar not to get moisturiser?
That's a minute.
That's a minute. That was brilliant, lads.
So we have Neymar going to China with some moisturiser, Helen Mirren telling him not to take the moisturiser, and Bieber's illegally sold him this moisturiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds quite plausible, really, doesn't it?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all them illegal moisturiser sales going through the roof nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens, Pammo.
It happens all over the world. There's a real
It's quite
black market for it.
You wonder, like, where the world's heading, really.
Yeah, you wonder what the youth of today are really doing when they're buying illegal moisturisers.
And on that bombshell, we're going to end the first half of this podcast. And we're going to have an interview next, as I said, with Ed Vickers, director, founder of Jollie's Socks. Check out their company if you haven't already and enjoy this little conversation. Apologies for any little technical difficulties. It was via Skype, so it's a bit in and out at points, but I'm sure you can make it out. See you on the other side. Okay, so listeners, I'm joined by Ed Vickers, who is the founder and director of Jollie Goods, which he will tell you a little bit more about later. But Ed, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Really good. Thanks
for coming on. The first question that I wanted to ask you was, what is the worst pair of socks that you've ever owned?
It's a good question. I've had a fair few.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had my fair share of terrible socks. And I think I was given a pair of sort of light brown socks at Christmas once, which ruined the entire day. And so that was pretty bad. And
Have you
yeah,
have you worn them since?
no, I didn't even. I just didn't put them on. Couldn't even look at them. So,
That bad. Okay. And what is the homelessness situation like in London at the moment? I think in Birmingham it seems to have gotten a lot worse over the last few years or so.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many sort of figures and all things sort of flying around this area of homelessness. I mean, it's hard to define what you sort of interpret as homelessness. Is it rough sleeping? Is it people in temporary accommodation? But from rough sleeping, a common fact is sort of it doubling. So increasing by 65% since 2010 in London alone. So there's a lot more people sleeping on the streets than there had been. So I think, yeah, it is a bit of a catastrophe, and it's not looking good.
Okay. And for those that don't know, how do those two questions relate to your business?
That's a great way of attacking it. Yeah. So, funny enough, we've actually just gone through a rebrand from Jolly Goods to Jollies. And so the brand's called Jollies, and really it was those two questions were kind of the start of who we are today and why we started.
Okay.
So it was. Shall I explain a little bit about Jollies and the concept?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So Jollies is a social sock company. So it really started from out of two frustrations. One, really bad socks out there. My brief encounter with a pair of brown ones. But and just not a lot of well-made, British-made cotton socks. I can't say I was born with a love of socks, but over time I've really appreciated it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can appreciate a really good pair of socks. They're like a long time companion, right? So it was out of that, and also just conversations with friends who were feeling like I was, really frustrated at that moment where you walk past someone who's sleeping rough. You kind of offer them an awkward smile and not really know what to do with yourself, and then you sort of carry on the rest of your day feeling a little bit bad and confused about what your role is in this situation. There's no doubt that rough sleeping, and we've all been in that situation. We've walked past people in sitting on the ground, and I'm sure a lot of you can sort of feel that bit of pain of not really knowing what to do. So it was really those two things that sparked the idea of creating a social sock company that could create amazing socks, and then off every pair sold, give a pair of socks to a local homeless charity, local to where customers from, and help in that way.
Nice, that's amazing. Why is it important to keep it local to where the customer's from?
Yeah, so I mean, the idea was let's create a sustainable business. Let's make our giving sustainable. And obviously, there's hundreds of sort of one-for-one models out there. I mean, the obvious ones are like Tom's shoes, if you know them, and pioneered that sell one, give one type model. But for me and Jollie, it was about it was always more than just about giving socks. It was about creating a brand that could be a bridge between people and their local shelter and charities. So we were really keen to create really fun opportunities for people to hear about and get involved with their local charity beyond socks. Socks are sort of the hook and the excuse to get people hearing about what's going on in their own towns. So I think it's part of a greater narrative of joining in this issue. Again, socks is such a small part in the journey from people coming off the streets, but we wanted to kind of really support and celebrate what's going on, the long-term work that charities are up to with our donations, rather than rocking up, throwing socks at a situation and then making a lot of noise and then leaving and feeling good about ourselves. So it was really important that we participated in an established network of charities that are doing great stuff.
Great. And you started out of uni. So what mistakes did you make early on?
Well, I'm not sure how long you usually do these interviews for. Yeah, I mean, it really started as a fun project. Wanted to work out whether the model could work. So I didn't really attack it in a business mind at all. I kind of vaguely had the idea that if you sort of bought materials that made a sock and got the sock made and sold it for a little bit more than what you paid for, you'll be able to afford to give a pair away, and somehow there must be a business model in there somewhere.
Okay.
So it really did start. I had no background in business, so it was more of a heart thinking than head thinking right. And lots of mistakes, and I'm continually refining the product. I still don't, in many ways feel like I'm there, even though it's been 4 years since I've officially started.
Right.
In an endless game of refining the product and making the product as good as possible, so we can have a stronger product, stronger brand, and stronger impact in this area of homelessness.
Do you think that's kind of a good way to start a business, not with a passion for even business necessarily, but just for a problem that you kind of see in the world? Is that a good way to attack something?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the great businesses have come out of a pain, and trying to find there's an obvious issue that you resonate with, and then trying to find a solution for that, rather than thinking of a solution and then trying to find a problem, which is very easy to do. So yeah, I definitely agree, and it's got to be a problem that you're passionate about as well. For me, I might not be the toilet plunger might be an issue. Great solution for and make lots of money, but I'm not passionate about toilets. I don't know what life holds, but to deliver a business, you've got to be passionate and make it happen. And so there's coming up with the idea and then having the sort of passion to deliver it is another conversation.
How would you say that young people can effectively help the homeless?
Oh, it's a great question, and it's something that I've tried to figure out for myself and with friends. I think the first step is kind of psychological within yourself, and getting rid of that terminology of homeless people, and getting rid of the norm of seeing people sleeping rough. It's pretty sad how we can become pretty numb just because we're used to walking people past people sitting on the ground. So get rid of the term homeless people, just see them as people, and it really does just start with that, and seeing people as people. And then there's so much out there you can get involved with. I'd really encourage just to find out where your local charity is and participate in what they're up to. I think our generation, sort of the millennial generation, if I can say that, celebrates innovation and starting something. If you're not starting something, you're doing something wrong. But actually, participation is such a greater thing that we can do. So, by all means, if there's something that you can start that's completely fresh, do it. But have a look and see if there's other things going on like it before, and get involved.
Great. I don't know whether you noticed this invention. I came across it earlier in the year. The contactless payment jacket. Did you hear about this?
No, go on.
So I think it was in Amsterdam. Someone had invented this jacket for homeless people, which would have like a contactless payment system inside it.
Okay.
And you would walk past, and you could only donate between €1 and €3, I think. And it would only be redeemable at certain sort of designated shelters. So it kind of removed that fear of where the money's going to go. What do you make of that? Do you think that's an interesting way forward?
Sounds cool. Obviously, I'd have to see the design of the jacket to know if it's a cool jacket. I wouldn't want people just having to wear a rubbish jacket.
Yeah.
No one wants that on another human. But I think that's golden. I think that that area of giving money and having confidence to know where it's going is a really clear problem that's going on at the moment, and definitely was a sticking point for me, knowing whether I should be giving money or not, and what's helpful and empowering and what's not. So yeah, bring it on, more jackets.
Okay, and final question about Jollies. If you were going to recommend me a pair of your socks, which would you recommend and why?
Flip. Well, they're all dear children of mine, so it's my favourite. But I would recommend just diving in the deep end and getting yourself some orange twisters.
Okay.
Yeah, they're bold. They're some of our newest designs. Start as you mean to go on.
All right, I might have to do that. And I'll ask you a couple of questions relating to a couple of the sections that we do on the podcast.
Sure.
So, first of all, we've recently been doing a section called Shower Songs. So I was interested to know, what song have you been either listening to or singing in the shower recently?
Wow. Flip. You've really put me in there.
I know, tough questioning.
Well, obviously, if it's Christmas, I go sort of straight into the Christmas songs, which it starts from October onwards.
Okay.
That's like a quarter of the year is just dedicated to Mariah Carey.
Right. Nice. Is that your favourite Christmas song?
Mariah Carey, Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of her classics.
Okay.
I won't name them all now, but actually, do you know what? Where Is the Love? Black Eyed Peas is a real favourite. Yeah.
Bit of a classic.
Yeah.
And also we do some supermarket madness, which is basically we try very strange and bizarre food.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you'd eaten anything a little bit left field recently that you could tell us about. Give us a quick review of.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've always been a huge addict of fig rolls.
Okay, interesting.
You ever got involved with them?
No, not really. It's all coming out now, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, it's that sort of 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock snack. If the blood sugar's a little low, you need your cup of tea, just arm yourself with a pack of fig rolls.
Okay.
Don't dunk them in the tea or anything like that. That'd be a huge mistake. But just eat them, and don't share any of them either. Don't feel like do that. That would be foolish. But just eat your way through a pack of fig rolls. You might not like the first 4, but just to the pack and then just see how you feel. But amazing.
It's a marathon, not a sprint kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
And finally, any cultural recommendations, film, TV, music, anything in that kind of world that you've been interested in recently?
Well, you know what? I actually went and saw Chance the Rapper the other day, and he did some pretty great things. So yeah, listen to his music.
Nice. Where was that gig?
It was Brixton Academy, which is far more trendy than I actually am. Please don't be fooled.
Okay, and if you could recommend one song of his, for someone who hasn't listened to Chance the Rapper before, what would it be?
His latest song, Can I Have This Dance, is a real goodie.
Okay, all right. Check that out, listeners. Ed, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
See you in a bit.
Hi, I'm Simon's mum, and you are listening to Swept Under the Rug.
That took you ages. Boom. That was the voice of Ed Vickers talking to me earlier, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, and even if you didn't, go and check out his company, Jollies. They do some great stuff, and some great socks, which I think I'm going to get. I might get.
They do look like good socks.
They do look like good socks. As you heard, you recommended the orange ones. I might go for some bright orange socks.
It's quite exciting.
It's the way forward, I think. We're going to do some more news stories now. A quick fire one each. And Pammo, do you mind starting us off?
I can. So, a company in America, specifically Wisconsin, have decided that now they're going to microchip all their employees, like how you'd microchip your animals.
Nice.
But this one is to help you open doors, log onto your computer,
Right.
and buy things from company vending machines
Okay.
for whatever reason. And apparently it's already used in Europe, which is weird. I think I remember seeing a thing about it already done in Sweden and people loving it.
Okay.
So that's interesting. But yeah, so people are concerned, as you would be, because there's a microchip in your hand,
Yeah.
that people are going to nick the credit card information more easily, and
Right.
as well that people are going to track them through the microchip in the hand. Although apparently no GPS is in it yet,
Okay.
so you have to take the company word on that one. But yeah, so apparently big needle on like a gun thing that
Right.
they inject into your hand, and basically you have to put it into the bone in like the fat of your hand. And yeah, it's pretty much just sort of been that so far. Nothing really crazy's come about of it.
No.
It's just like various people in the company.
It seems to be a bit of a trend at the moment, because we had a story about that from Chris a few weeks ago, and it was a similar thing. It was like the Australian version of an Oyster card, or the Sydney version.
And he had
of an
like
Oyster card.
several other microchips in his hand or something.
It was just this one guy
Various other things. Yeah.
called like Meow Meow.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? Ludo.
Meow, Ludo, Disco, Gamma, Meow, Meow. I think.
That was his legal name.
Wow.
That's what happens in Australia. You were saying that there's some people are trying to scam you by just waving like a chip reader around.
that was a thing that people were concerned would happen.
Oh,
so
right.
basically, obviously there's that whole thing going around with contactless cards,
Okay.
where people would have like a card reader and scan it through your trouser pocket or something.
Okay.
So people are saying with this whole thing with now it's linked to your credit card in your hand. People would, obviously this was more of a joke than anything, but if you shake hands with someone who has a card reader in their hand, that then just takes all your credit card information without you even knowing about it. So, you know, handshakes can become a very dangerous thing come 2020.
Crimes moving forward in all sorts of
Crimes getting more polite.
wonderful ways. Yeah, exactly. So my other quickfire story is from Argentina. And this article starts off by saying less than half the country trust the media. Most people consider the mainstream media a bunch of biased hacks who aren't to be trusted. And basically, it's not the USA, it is Argentina. And you have to... Broadcasting without a license is illegal, as it is in lots of places. And so in this country, obviously, where there's a lot of distrust, they've kind of taken it into their own hands, and lots of people around various neighbourhoods, especially working class and poor neighbourhoods, have started doing guerrilla kind of programmes, almost like pirate radio type thing. And this has all been set up by a small collective called DTL Comunicación Popular. I think I nailed that pronunciation.
You did, yeah.
So yeah, they've been popping up all across the country to kind of offer an alternative view, an alternative media viewpoint, which seems to be quite sorely needed in this part of the world. Do you reckon that's a good idea? Do you reckon we should start doing that over here?
What, like just little guerrilla news groups all over the place?
Yeah.
And I think would probably be like less biased in a way, because if you have no umbrella organisation dictating what all these things are saying, then you have you probably get pretty much every possible viewpoint.
Yeah.
So it eliminates that, which is a good thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Boom. What's your quick fire news story, Ryan?
Mine is, well, before that,
Okay.
I just wanted to talk about this because
Okay.
people need to know.
The people need to know.
Yeah. So if you watched last year's University Challenge, well, and this year's, last year's and this
I think it
year's,
was this year.
Yeah. You'll probably remember Eric Monkman, the Canadian, who's quite well known for his facial expressions and his way of answering the questions. Became quite a celebrity. And him and another guy called Bobby Seagull from the University of Cambridge have landed their own radio show on Radio 4. So they're going to present Monkman and Seagull's polymathic adventure on Radio 4 on the 21st of August. And I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
And I think you should be too. So if that appeals to you, go check that out. But my story is...
Okay, before you go on to that, Rohan also just claimed that he got 11 right on this week's University Challenge. So I don't believe a word that he's saying in this next section, because he blatantly didn't.
I did.
It's physically impossible to do that. Anyway.
This is a woman in Northern Ireland. 11.
You're really hung up on this.
Okay, so a woman in Northern Ireland has been jailed for using her Tesco vouchers too many times. So this woman is called Angela Rogan, and she redeemed vouchers several times when they should only have been used once. And she told police she didn't believe this was dishonest and claimed she was simply taking advantage of a flaw. So I don't know. But then again, she does have a previous record of thieving and dishonesty and has 5 sets of suspended sentences, but then continued to offend. So
this story sounds a lot more innocent from the headline.
Yeah. She's pleaded guilty to 1 count of fraud by false representation and 8 counts of possessing articles for use in connection with fraud. So it sounds quite serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite the seemingly innocent act that it is. And yeah, that's basically it. She went into the shop in 2013 and paid for a lot of items using vouchers, so the manager was suspicious and called the police, and they found several fake and I presume photocopied vouchers in her car.
That's quite a good. I never thought of that.
So yeah,
I mean, there'll be bits more ready for it now, though, mate.
That's true. Yeah, we're not
after the granny fiasco.
We're not condoning this, by the way.
And £955 worth of goods were recovered from her car.
Whoa.
So she evidently used these vouchers quite a bit. But that's pretty much it.
Of all companies to go for, you go for Tesco's there. It's an interesting place to scam.
Yeah, but they do like quite a lot of vouchers.
It's true. I mean, I just thought you'd go for something a bit more high end.
Like
if you're
what?
I don't know, jewellery, I guess. Anything.
How are you getting jewellery? Where are you getting
Jewellery vouchers from? I'm sure like Morrison's or like I'm sure Waitrose would do like something posh like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like jewellery points.
Yeah, if they haven't already, they will have.
There you go, listeners. Prediction for 2020.
There we go. Alright, we'll have a quick break and then we will do some supermarket madness. That led quite nicely into that.
Did, yeah.
We're excited, terrified, and all sorts of other describing words about this section.
Much more terrified than excited, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
And you probably should be too, listeners. Terrified of what's going to come next. We'll see you in a second.
Hi, I'm Simon's mum, and you're listening to Swept Under the Rug.
It's that time of the week, listeners. It's supermarket madness time. We had quite a long trip to Sainsbury's.
I can smell. I'm holding it like a foot away from my nose, and I can smell it.
It smells like spaghetti bolognese
really
sauce.
pungent.
It smells like bolognese sauce, doesn't it?
The thing we're referring to here is Big Tom spiced tomato mix, which is apparently a drink.
It says on the back it's a drink, yeah.
Although we're not particularly convinced. It also says that the Queen drinks it, or the royal household does anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I say Prince Philip drinks it more than Queen.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Big Phil.
Maybe it's where Harry gets his hair colour from.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. He's not actually ginger. He just dyes it with Big Tom's tomato mix.
Yeah.
That's a real conspiracy theory.
Would explain a lot.
Read out some of the ingredients.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. So we've got Worcester sauce, celery, mustard, and white wine vinegar, as well as malt vinegar, and tomato juice. So it doesn't really sound like a drink.
No. It's the celery that's.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to have it with celery. I don't think it's actually the celery in it. I think it's
actually celery in it, Pammo.
The spice blend flavouring contains celery and mustard.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Pam?
I'm really excited to drink it. I feel like it heighten my life.
Okay.
I may be a returning customer, who knows.
Well, let's see. Let's get on with it. We've also got some fig rolls on the recommendation of Ed Vickers, which is slightly more boring than the spiced tomato mix, but we're going to go for them together, I think. Oh wow, that's a smell.
Like I say, it smells like something you put on meatballs.
Yeah.
You're not going to dump the figs in them, are you?
I mean,
shall we have a sip first?
Yeah.
Okay. I poured myself way too much. I'm not going to.
Well, I think we've all poured a bit too much for what we're actually going to drink.
It just smell like tomato soup. It's like that time when my dad bought soup thinking it was juice.
But this genuinely says it's juice.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
No. It's just cold tomato soup.
It's surprisingly hot though. considering it's supposed to be cold.
It is.
It like tastes warmer.
spicy.
No, it tastes warmer than it actually should be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Explain that, pal.
Have you ever had spicy food and you get that sort of like taste in your mouth of like it's actually hot? It's sort of like that, but like as soon as it touches your mouth.
Yeah, there's like a kick or something
Yeah.
in a weird
I think it
way.
is quite spicy. It does say spiced tomato
Yeah,
mix.
but-
In fairness to Big Tom.
I mean, it wasn't absolutely
I wouldn't drink it.
Mm.
I don't think I'll be a returning customer anymore.
You don't.
No.
Yeah, it literally just tastes like tomato soup, but a little thinner.
Yeah.
It's very unpleasant to drink. It's
It
not
is
sitting,
kind of-
it's not sitting great.
It's an experience.
It's all right. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as some of the things we've
No.
experienced.
I mean, I think Cubus being our low.
Yeah.
That
Cubus.
It was a really, really disgusting carrot juice that we had from Sainsbury's World Food.
I still think we should have the beetroot juice.
Yeah, there was beetroot juice for £3. £3 whole British pounds.
I mean, that would have still only cost you about £4.45?
No, these cost £2.50
No, it costs
because the Queen drinks it.
So, are we going to dip some fig rolls
Putting that on expenses. Yeah, let's
claim that on
dip some-
expenses.
Yeah.
Fig Toms? Having a bit of difficulty.
Yeah, well,
I can't wait to taste
There you go.
tomato puree and fig. Be really nice.
there you go, Pammo.
Thank
This
you.
is. I've realised this is wonderful
hello.
radio.
They're like stuck together. There we go.
They look alright. They were the cheaper version, weren't they?
Yeah.
Mm,
so-
45p.
But
So,
alright. Do you think the tomato juice adds to it?
No, you can't really taste it.
ready?
I can.
Perhaps the fig, I can't really taste it.
It was the only thing I could taste at first, and then it went. And now I've got the fig.
I feel like the fig rolls are quite good.
They are,
No,
yeah,
I
fig
like-
rolls are good.
On a convert.
But with tomato juice, I don't think it's a.
No,
I
it's
don't
not
think
a winning
it's a
combo.
winning combo.
It's not necessarily bad. It's just unnecessary.
Well, pretty much like the whole of this podcast. I think that's a good way to sum that up. Not
I think
necessarily
that should be the
bad.
episode.
We're just unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
I hope you've enjoyed this, not necessarily bad, but unnecessary show, listeners. Get in touch, and yeah, stay safe, take risks. We'll see you in a bit.
Yep.
The thing's on the metronome. Right, Pammo just talk. Whoa!
Metronome.
Yeah, it's Logic.
Okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
mental.
Pammo's a big fan of Logic, by the way.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Can you speak a bit louder, Rohan?
Speak. How much louder? A
Like
lot
just
louder.
as loud as
This loud. Is
yeah,
this okay?
I think so.
Okay.
'Cause we
Is
kinda-
this okay?
So we
You
listen
sound
back to
good.
it.